Welcome to meditation in the third week of Advent. And I invite you to be here, to stand or to sit still. Of course, we all have many tasks, I'm sure, to complete before Christmas in 2 weeks or just less than 2 weeks' time. But in this season of Advent, which is still such a useful season to observe, spiritually it's a different matter. It is a season of waiting, and waiting in a sense for something that we can't control. It's like waiting perhaps on a platform for someone to arrive. It's they who are coming to us. There's something similar perhaps in nature. If you spot a wild animal, a hare or a deer, don't we instinctively stop and allow them space to draw near? Brian Draper quotes somebody who says, "The key to a holy Advent is to stop and wait for Christ to come to you." And so in this space and this time of waiting that you've carved out for yourself, be still. Adjust your sitting position, feel comfortable in the chair, lower your gaze, close your eyes, or focus on the image on the screen, which I'll explain later. And take 2 deeper breaths. Conscious that you're slowing down, almost like taking your foot off the accelerator of the car and slowing down. Tune in to the sensations of the breath. I'm sensing a stretching on the in-breath, and then a relaxing on the out-breath. Breathing in, maybe holding after the in-breath, and relaxing on the out-breath. And if I place my hands on my chest and my belly, I feel the rise on the in-breath and the fall on the out-breath. The stretch and the relax, rise and fall. Maybe you can sense the air passing through the nostrils as it makes its way inside, and makes its way down through the lungs to the capillaries at the end. And the air that's discharged its oxygen surfaces, and we breathe it out through the mouth. Tune in to whichever sensations resonate for you, whichever ones you feel. On the in, the hold, and the out. Just spend a few moments tuning in, being in the breath, being with the breath. And as you continue to breathe, perhaps just if your eyes are closed, just open them to look at the image on the screen I mentioned, a striking image created by a Reading scientist, Professor Ed Hawkins. It's called the warming stripes and is a visual representation of global temperature since 1850, so just over 150 years. One stripe per year, with the blues signifying a year when the temperature was cooler than the average of that period, and the pinks and reds where the average temperature was higher, when the annual temperature was higher than the average for that period of time. So the average probably sits a little bit to the right of center. And what we see there is a visual and almost an artistic representation of the warming of our planet. Getting noticeably warmer in the most recent years. Perhaps art again is more powerful than mere numbers or words, bringing home to us the reality of the changing climate and the difficult choices that we have to make. Because these figures and these stripes keep on year after year. How do we respond? Is there something that we learn from the COVID crisis, where our responses were perhaps a mixture of responding out of love, but also probably with a strong element of fear? Perhaps it's easier to respond when there's an urgency and fear is driving us, rather than through love, which might be a slower process. Can we, for instance, commit to reducing our air travel? Commit to reducing other ways in which we burn fossil fuels? Bishop Holtham, whose book we're using for some of this Advent meditation, says this requires a spirituality that is self-disciplined, reverent, concerned with sustainability. In other words, it's operating for the love of the world and creation, albeit perhaps tinged with an element of fear of what the future might bring. Fear and love, an interesting duality. Hildegard of Bingen talks about another duality, saying that man flies with two wings, with the knowledge of good and of evil. The right wing is good knowledge and the left evil. But importantly, evil knowledge serves the good, and good knowledge is kept in check by the evil and is even made more discerning by it. Indeed, the good is made wise in all things through the evil. Another duality, joy and sorrow. Joy that denies sorrow is neither hard-won, nor true, nor eternal. And sorrow that refuses to make space for the return of joy and hope in the end becomes nothing more than a temple for the worship of my own woundedness. So we are at liberty to lament our losses, even as we at the same time rejoice in the hope of their coming restoration. So come back to the breath. And this prayer, by way of expressing that duality. Let me learn now, O Lord, to do this as naturally as the inhale and exhale of a single breath. To breathe in joy. To breathe out sorrow. To breathe in hope. To breathe out lament. To breathe in comfort. To breathe out pain. To breathe in joy. To breathe out sorrow. Another way of expressing this in words. In one hand I grasp the burden of my grief, while with the other I reach for the hope of grief's redemption. And here, between what was and what will be, in the very is of now, let my heart be surprised by, shaped by, warmed by the same joy that forever wells within and radiates from your heart, O God. And another practice advocated by Richard Eldridge, a hand prayer, in which we bring together sorrow and joy. So I invite you to bring one hand up, hold it in front of you as representing sorrow, perhaps pain and suffering in your own life, or in the life of a friend, or even of the world. And now bring the other up, palm up, as representing joy and beauty. Rejoice in it, your own or that of someone else. And now, gently bring them together in an attitude of prayer, letting the two be one. And as they meet, allow the warmth to be shared. Then twist into an embrace of your hands and bring them to your heart, allowing the two to be reconciled within you. And then maybe repeat that again. The one sorrow, the other joy. At this time perhaps thinking of the hands representing God and humanity coming together in prayer in Jesus, twisting to embrace, the embrace of incarnation. And perhaps just continue to hold your hands in that posture, in that attitude. As we think of where and how we draw on that love of God which has come close to us, has joined with us. Brian Draper talks of 3 levels at which we operate. Talks of the shallows, the middle, the depths. Much of our day is spent in the shallows, on our phones, at our computer, travelling to and from the shops or work. The midlands is a place of our longings, hopes, fears, dreams, where we tend to shed our tears. And at this time of year it can fill up fast with added burdens. But the depths is a less entangled place, containing the kind of treasure which remains when all the rest is stripped away. Faith, hope, and love, let's say, and the presence of the one who is behind and within everything. And the good news, of course, is that descent into the depths involves letting go, unburdening. Of course, it takes an act of will to turn the phone off, close the door, step down from the shadows for a time, the shallows for a time. And it may feel hard to pray without trawling through our long list of cares. That often happens when we're in the midlands. But we need a break from carrying this weight. We don't have to let go forever if that's too big a task. Just practice to start with, leaving your cares at the door. For this time you've set aside to seek the divine in the depths. As a start, simply say the phrase, I give everyone and everything to you, O God. I give everyone and everything to you, O God. Perhaps it's in the depths that we shall see the goodness of our God. Just play some of a Taizé track. I am sure I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Yes, I shall see the goodness of our God. Hold fast, trust in the Lord. I give everyone and everything to you, O God. I give everyone and everything to you, O God. I give everyone and everything to you, O God, as we enter into silence. Perhaps imagining you are descending to the depths, a less entangled place. Perhaps a staircase down to an inner room. Perhaps a gateway to a quiet garden. A place where there are no distractions. Or maybe using your breath to breathe in joy and to breathe out sorrow. Or to use the hand prayer, bringing joy and sorrow together. Go into blessed silence with the bell which will bring us out. So we come out of silence, gently opening our eyes, stretching, opening our hands. Maybe just looking around, giving thanks for the goodness of the Lord. And closing with some words attributed to Columba, a circling prayer which at some point you might want to execute by turning through 90 degrees for each line. Bless to me the sky that is above me. Bless to me the ground that is beneath me. Bless to me the friends who are around me. Bless to me the love of the three. Deep within and encircling me. Amen.